We are live. What is going on, everyone? Thank you all so very much for hanging out with us today. Everybody that's coming in at this time, take time of the day, spend with us. Anybody watching this on the replay, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. What is going on, Jake? How are you?
I'm good. I can't believe they won that game.
I told you. I done told you, man. Let me grab my phones. But yeah, I called it. I told you. See, I said, and look, I'm not like, I know the whole crystal ball joke last time, stuff like that. But look, in reality, it's just Miami's not a good scoring team. They can't score, right? So I knew that the Lakers they would be able to keep up scoring wise. It's just would they be able to get the stops, right? Like if they can defensively hold their own a bit, that I figured that they would be able to be in that game. I thought it was a game that realistically they could hang around in. And then if they hang around, you get a spot or two. Like I said, we needed a big game from Russ. Russ had a solid game. Schroeder was the one that had the real big game, right? He was the one that had 31 points, something like that. So I didn't take that into account, but I said, if Schroeder could give us like 15, I figured if Russ could give us somewhere in like the 25 to 30 range. So basically it kind of flipped. Russ gave us 20, he had 22, something like that, 23. I don't really remember off the top of my head, but he had like 22, 23, somewhere in that ballpark. And then Schroeder had 31. So I was like, okay, if we get big games out of them, Thomas Bryant's going to have his probably 15-10 game, which he did. I was like, if the other guys can kind of chime in and give us a couple buckets here and there, that I thought the Lakers would be able to hang around enough to at least make things interesting, at least make things, put things in perspective to where they could win the game. If they could close out, they could win the game. And
Russ almost gave us a triple-double too. Almost.
Yeah, almost. It was right there. So I don't know. Again, it's not like it's just knowing. It's just, I guess, just knowing the teams. Like, if we were playing the Warriors or something where they could go and put up 140, or like Boston or something like that, I would have been like, yeah, there's probably no way we're winning this game. But a team like the Miami, who averages like 111 a game, I'm not really worried about that. Like, I thought that they could score. So it was a good solid win. So I was
crazy. I'm still shocked. I'm like, how in the world?
telling you. When are you gonna learn? I'm always right. But what's going on, Raymond? How are you? Appreciate you.
Raymond?
And Speedy, what's going on? I haven't gotten any notifications or heard anything about LeBron playing tonight. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. I hope so. That would be nice if he is playing. We do have Lonnie Walker out for 2 weeks and Austin Reeves. Both of those guys are out for the next 2 weeks, so that hurts because we're already thin. And just to add on top of that, okay. So yeah, Raymond just answered the question. There you go. Thank you so much, Raymond. I appreciate that. And Raymond said, "What's up, Jake?"
So.
But yeah, appreciate you, Raymond. But diving into the topics, first topic I guess we go into is we covered the Lonnie Walker and Austin Reeves thing. So the next thing is the 10-day contracts, right? We have 10-day contracts that are now available. Lakers are working players out. Tyler Dorsey is a name that was thrown out there. For those that don't know, he's a guy that, he's not anyone that really jumps out on paper. 6'4" guard, still relatively young. A guy that played for Oregon, had a couple stints in the NBA, but nothing major. And then primarily Dallas. Dallas was probably like his best season in the league. He played for Dallas. And then,
so we're working him out right now, right?
Yeah, we worked him out. And but it looks like, based on reports today, it looks like we're working out DeMarcus Cousins. So that could be interesting. Now, me personally, I've said it before, I personally am more Whiteside. I would personally like Whiteside.
I called it. I had a feeling they were going to go Cousins again. I'm not saying that it's for sure going to happen. I'm not saying that. But I had a strange feeling that they were going to try to give Cousins another look.
Yeah.
Because we've given him a look before, right?
Yeah. Well,
So yeah,
so he's been working 6 days a week, apparently nonstop, to try to get back into the NBA. So maybe he's gotten his body right. Maybe he's gotten himself together. Because I mean, the big concerns with DeMarcus Cousins is one, health, right? Can't stay healthy. Two,
stamina,
yeah, stamina,
which
not
is
being able.
I guess that falls in the health
Yeah,
category.
yeah. I mean, it is. It's one of the things I was going to mention because they are kind of two different things. Like DeMarcus Cousins can't play more than like 10 to 15 minutes a game, which is a concern, right?
Well, yeah, you look at a player like Zion. Zion's like even his like athleticism level. He's like when he's not really injury prone, his stamina like he can't be on the court for long. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? So it's
I
like
mean, it's size. The problem is the
yeah,
size. Guys have like when they have like that huge size. So hopefully DeMarcus Cousins, because he's been working on stuff, that hopefully slimmed down a little bit.
yeah.
But third is just his mental, right? Like the guy getting technicals, getting like
He's
the
very
owner.
short tempered too. Like he's
Yeah,
very like
exactly.
yeah.
Like Bob Meyer told him, like I guess DeMarcus Cousins called him and said, "Hey, like why can't I get a job?" And he was like, "Teams are afraid of what you're going to do. Like, how are you going to behave? What are you going to do on the court?" And it's a real concern. Um,
He's like
so
an unhinged Draymond Green.
I mean, yeah, he is. I mean, he's a guy that can really that can really hurt you in chemistry, locker room, all that stuff. But I don't mind it. I don't. I think it's a big body, big solid size. If he can, be that guy that can, come in and provide 15, 20 minutes a game, that'd be great. Big body, good size. Defensively, he's not great. That's a bit of a concern. And we're best running. We're best in the fast break. We're one of the best teams in the league in fast break points and
He's
pace.
not a fast up and down player.
That's my concern. That's another reason why I want Whiteside is because Whiteside at least is a roll man. He's a running big. I kind of lean towards that more. But if
But
DeMarcus
in
is
my
sitting a
prime
little
though,
bit,
like in his prime, he was arguably one of like like one of the top
DeMarcus
at his
prime DeMarcus
position.
Cousins was amazing. I mean, the
But
guy
I
was.
just don't think we're gonna get that back.
I mean, it's
Not
just
at this point in the career.
yeah,
No.
it's not realistic. So I mean, I don't know what kind of DeMarcus Cousins we're going to get. Now,
Yeah.
to be fair, obviously the Lakers are working him out, so we'll see if the Lakers like what they see. Then yeah, he does have a relationship with Darvin Ham, which also brings me to the other guy that the Lakers are reportedly working towards signing, which is Sterling Brown. So Sterling Brown is is a guy that again has a relationship with Darvin Ham, 6'5", guard, shooting guard. He's played small forward in the past. He played 1 year small forward primarily for Milwaukee, which was his like second best year, first best year of his career. But he's again not a guy that's going to stand out. But he's 26 years old, so he's still relatively young. He's a guy that can come in and do some things, especially with Lonnie Walker out and Austin Reeves. He's a guy that could maybe fill some of that load, I guess.
He's
That we're going to be.
6'5" too, so I
Yeah,
mean,
he's got good size for a guard. He can play some defense. He's not like a lockdown elite defender, but he's serviceable enough. He's had seasons where he shot 37%, 38%. So obviously they worked him out and they liked what they saw because they're working on a contract towards that. So hopefully,
you know who his brother is?
who
Sorry, actually, I literally just found this out. Shannon Brown, from back in the run with the
his
Lakers.
brother Shannon Brown?
Yeah, from back in the run with
Oh,
the
that's
Lakers.
interesting. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
I think.
I
Well,
didn't know that. I really did.
Well,
That's fascinating.
just in case I get fact check, according to Google. So.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Yeah.
interesting. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, they both have the last name Brown. So I mean, I thought you were going to say Troy Brown. But yeah, no. In general, I mean, it's a guy that come in. I get it, low risk, high reward type guy. Maybe he can kind of replicate the Lonnie Walker movement, right? 6'4", 6'5" guy that can come in, maybe shoot the ball a little bit, score a little bit, do a little bit of things. That'd be nice. Yeah, I think you come in. Cousins, we'll see. I mean, they haven't signed Cousins as far as my knowledge goes up until a couple hours ago. I haven't really looked into it since. but it's something that I think could be interesting. Obviously, the Lakers are going to look at several guys. I still lean towards Hassan Whiteside. I'd still like Mo Harkless. Um, I made a video that it uploaded about an hour ago now, and I'd like to hear your thoughts about this. Like, problem is, I know not everyone's going to watch the entire video.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, most people just listen to the first couple minutes and then that's it. But I mentioned Kemba Walker because Kemba Walker was released by the Dallas Mavericks. Not
Yeah.
because he wasn't good for them or anything. I mean, he had like a 32-point game for him and almost single-handedly won them the game. So he had a good run with them, but they said he was ultimate professional. He was great for them, but they had one of their young guys is really starting to emerge and having some success. So they want to free up time to see what he could do because obviously that's a guy that's for the long term rather than Kemba, who may or may not be on the team next year. And then they have a couple of other young guys that they want to get some looks at. So makes sense. So I was saying Kemba Walker, it doesn't make sense right now for the roster because last thing we need is another undersized guard, right?
Yeah.
The last thing we need is another 6-foot guard. I don't even think he's 6 feet, but something like that. But if we were to make a trade and we were to unload Patrick Beverley, Kendrick Nunn, Russ, or whether we keep Russ, whatever, right? Kemba Walker could be a guy that could come off the bench and be a Malik Monk, Lou Williams type guy, a guy that you give 15 to 20 minutes a game to. If he's having a hot night and he's, shooting the lights out, then maybe he plays 25, 30 minutes. But for the most part, consistently, he's just getting somewhere in the 15 to 20-minute range. And his only job is to just go out there and go get you a bucket, right? Veteran guy, he's been there, he's led a team, he's been in the playoffs, so he has experience, all that stuff. If you unload all your guards, you're going to need other guards. Kemba could be that guy. You'd have Dennis Schroeder, and then if you keep Russ, then you'd have Russ, and then Kemba Walker could, run. Now, if you're going to run Kemba, because defensive liability, ideally, hopefully, if they are making a trade, it's trade for some wing depth. And in that case, you'd also probably need Anthony Davis because in that way you have enough defense to make up for the lack of Kemba Walker. But if you run him in certain sets, I do think he's a guy that could make an impact on the Lakers. He could be a guy because the big thing the Lakers don't have right now, and it's one of the reasons I really want Terry Rozier. It's one of the reasons I think Kyrie Irving would be great. They don't have a guy that's just a natural scorer and just bucket getter, right?
Yeah.
Like Lonnie Walker can go get a bucket, but he's not like cross up, step back, pull up, splash, right? He's more.
Well, he's not as developed as we would need him to be.
Yeah, he's young. He's learning. He's getting through the process. This is like his first
and that's what I'm saying. Like he's still to the
year, right?
Yeah.
And so where like Kemba, he's a guy that like he can run your offense. He can play on the ball. He can play off the ball. Career, 37, 38% 3-point shooter. He's a guy that if you needed to, you could just give him the ball and he can go create. He can go and cross a dude up, step back, pull up, splash. He could shoot from mid range, shoot from the outside. He could do a little bit of everything. So I don't think it would be the worst thing in the world to give him a shot. Again, assuming a trade gets done. Because right now, to add him, he could be what we were hoping Kendrick Nunn would be. Just a scoring guard that can go create his own shot, can play on the ball, can play off the ball, could do multitude of things. But what are your thoughts on Kemba Walker? Is that something that, like, if we made a trade and we unloaded because that's what we're going to unload is pretty much all of our cards. If we did do something like that, would you be willing to give Kemba a look?
You're talking about unload most of our guards just for Kemba? Like if we did a trade, we would get.
No, Kemba's a free agent now, so we could just sign him.
Oh yeah, we could sign him. Okay, so no, I like Kemba. I've been a Kemba fan for a while actually. I think Kemba's a beast. But I'm glad you brought up something I was gonna bring up too with Terry Rozier. I do feel like we can like play the whole plug and play game. It's the same, like you know what I mean. It's kind of like a Terry Rozier type player. I wouldn't mind giving him a look because right now I believe he's healthy. So like you just add another player to the team. Like you said, can kind of go get us a bucket. I wouldn't mind that at all. I think it's a good look. My only concern is he's only 6 feet, so it's like you know what I mean. That's like he's smaller, so I I just at this point, you got Bev, you got Nunn. Like if we could, like you said, once we get rid of those guards, I wouldn't mind him coming in. But him adding to this lineup,
Yeah,
it's
you can't. It makes zero sense to add him right now.
super, 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 super small. Like,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean,
especially the way Darvin Ham likes to play guard lineups.
I was just gonna say we give Darvin so much, like we give Darvin so much criticism about going small. But if he makes a move like that, like if he gets another like small guard, he's gonna have no choice. Like,
can you imagine a lineup of like Dennis Schroeder, Kemba Walker, Patrick Beverly, Kendrick Nunn, and Russell Westbrook? My God.
Oh man.
No, like I said, it would be a move, right? Assuming we didn't do the Hornets, because if you do the Hornets deal and you get Terry Rozier, then again, makes zero sense to get Kemba. But like let's say we did the Spurs deal, at that point it wouldn't hurt you to go get another kind of point guard, you know, and Kemba could be, like I said, he could be Malik Monk. And something that I mentioned in the video, like, because a lot of people are like, oh, like, why would we want Kemba? No defense, no this, that. Like, neither was Malik Monk, but everyone wanted us to keep him. People would still take Malik Monk back if we could, right? And it's because he was scoring. And it wasn't like he was averaging 30 a game. Like, the guy was putting up, like 11, 12 points a game. Like, he just was one of the bright spots. He came off the bench.
It's just a walking bucket.
He was the guy that could just go create and go get you your own bucket, which is what I would hope Kemba would be able to do, which he proved with Dallas he can still. So again, it would be a circumstantial thing. Like you'd have to unload your guards and you'd have to do a trade that makes sense. But I think like if your only guards are, I mean, outside of like, your shooting guards, Austin Reeves, stuff like that. But like if you're only like real point guards, I guess, are just Russ and Schroeder, I don't think Kemba would be a bad look, at least to give a shot. And it's low risk, high reward. If he comes in, he's great. He's great. If he comes in and he's not, then he's not. You just let him go. Sign him to a non-guaranteed and let it go. But let's jump in the chat a little bit, and then we'll jump into our next topic. Yes, they signed Brown 10-day. Yeah. Tyler, you're only right when you cheat off my paper. Appreciate you, Raymond. Yeah. Hey, sometimes you got to cheat off the teacher, right? Appreciate you. Sterling Brown's 9-day Cousins is done. Whiteside deserves a look for Tyler's sake anyways. I seriously couldn't get rid of Pat Bev. He deserves something. Yeah, I hope that they take a look at Whiteside. What is the latest with AD? As far as I know, nothing really major. There's not really any like major updates or news. Just that he's heading in a positive direction. The pain has basically subsided. There's no real pain that he's dealing with, and they're planning on starting to ramp up his workouts to get him close to coming back. Thanks for the content, guys. I watch all the streams. Bron the Goat. Well, thank you, Loki. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
And yeah, I said it. I think LeBron James is the greatest ever. Shannon Brown was arrested. Huh? Interesting. When did that happen? Hope the Lakers win and that you guys have a good night. Gotta go. Our left-footed Congress piece. Go watch our left-footed Congress. Well, I appreciate you, Raymond. Thank you for popping in. Thank you for hanging out with us. And I hope the Lakers get a win too. A bunch of former NBA players were arrested for insurance fraud, including Brown and Glenn Davis. Interesting. I didn't know that's news to me.
Oh.
You gotta do insurance fraud. Like that just shows that guys lost their NBA money. Kevin Love was Lakers and Cleveland Cavaliers going to wake up the roster. You talking about buying out Kevin Love? If he was to be bought out, I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind taking a shot on Kevin Love. No more little guards. Aren't you tired of little guards? Like I said, if you're making a trade that unloads all the little guards, then yes. But right now, yes, no way. I want Kemba Walker on the team right now. Like
not added to this team. No.
Either later, why would Lakers continue to sign little guards? Because you get what you can get. It's not like there's a ton of 6'8" point guards out there. Monk and Kemba are not the same. They're very similar. They're one. I mean, age-wise, yes, they're not. They decided for a 10-day contract along with Stu Mocker. What's going on, Wayne? I appreciate you. How are you?
Stu Mocker.
we need 20 from Shooter and Westbrook and 40 from LeBron for us to have a chance. Tonight against Atlanta, I don't think so. Atlanta's
No.
like I mean, maybe, but I don't know. I mean, look, LeBron.
Now, are we talking about with AD? I'm assuming he's talking about with AD out.
He's talking about tonight. He's talking about tonight because we're playing. He's talking about Atlanta Hawks because we're playing Atlanta.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
He's not speaking generally. He's talking about tonight. Yeah, tonight. I mean, I don't think we'll need that. I mean, look, without Austin Reeves stuff like that, yeah, it'd be a little rough. But I don't know. I think it'll be all right.
Yeah, no, just everybody needs to do their part.
I mean, look, it's hard to beat a team twice in like a 5-day span. So I wouldn't be shocked if the Lakers lose tonight, especially because Atlanta's on a losing streak. So you're probably gonna, or I believe, are they still on a losing streak? They were. I know that they lost like 3 or 4 straight. But so you're gonna get the best game from them tonight. So I'm not like as confident in this game as I was the first Atlanta game. Plus, we have a lot of guys out, but Atlanta's not that good. Like, I'm not like that.
Well, they're 18-20. We're 17-21. So
yeah,
I mean,
they're not that good. They're not that good.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not a bad team. They're just awkward. Like, they just it's very similar to. They're very similar to like what Minnesota did, right? Like Minnesota had a good team, and they had a very specific team. And they were like, we're good enough to, with the right piece or two, we can contend. And for whatever reason, Minnesota thought Rudy Gobert was that answer. and it just, I do not understand it. Like, I am not a general manager. I am just a basketball fan like anyone else. I am a student of the sport. I love the sport. I understand all the ins and outs. I understand how some of the business sides works, but I don't understand all the ins and outs. But as soon as that happened, I was like, I do not see a scenario where this was. I mean, I made a video about it on As It Stands, not the Laker channel, but the Mother channel, where I was like, this is not going to work. Like, I just don't think Minnesota, I didn't think they would be this bad, but I was like, you basically got the only player that makes Karl Anthony Towns and Ant-Man irrelevant. And that's exactly what's happened. Because they need, like, the thing that made Karl Anthony Towns great is him playing the 5 because he's such a mismatch. And then, so now you're making him the 4 where he can't defend, and you're basically turned him into a jump shooter. And Rudy Gobert can't spread the floor, so it's not like you can flip flop them.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, like, Anthony is best when he's getting to the basket and creating and operating in the, like, it made no sense. Well, Atlanta did the same thing, just instead of a big, they went small. They were like, we have a team. I think the worst thing that happened to Atlanta was them making the Eastern Conference Finals, because I believe that they believed they were a piece away from contending, and in reality, they weren't. It took a lot of dominoes.
That was a tough series. That was a tough series. I don't know if you watched it, but I sat there and watched that whole series. That was.
I mean, I watched Atlanta's entire run. Like, they had a lot of dominoes that had to fall for them to get there. Like and that was the problem, is that they thought that, we were that good, and they thought, okay, well, Trae Young is such a great shooter, let's take him off the ball and the ball out of his hands when he's a high usage player that needs the ball in his hands. And that's when he's best. So now you got 2 guys that need the same thing. And you have a team that is actually, in my opinion, better suited for DeJounte Murray than you are Trae Young. Like,
hot take really quick. Give me a hot take. What's your take on Trae Young? I really want to hear your opinion on this. How do you feel about Trae Young?
I think Trae Young is a really good but not great player.
Okay.
I think he's better than. Do you think he's a piece or two from winning and shit? No, I don't think Trae Young's the best player on the championship team.
Really? Okay.
Like,
okay.
To me, and I'm not necessarily comparing the two skill wise or anything like that.
Yeah.
But to me, he's kind of like like an AI in the sense of like I don't think he can be a number 2 or 3 option, but he's better again. He's better than good, but he's not great. Where AI don't get me wrong, AI was great. AI if he was 6'8", might be.
But you're saying his play style more so than anything.
I'm talking about like AI, especially in the later years. Like you looked at AI and you were like, man, like if he had another star, he could probably win a championship, but he probably can't play with another star. And that was the problem. And that's kind of how I look at Trae Young. That's what I mean by like that comparison is that like Trae Young, you're like, man, Trae Young looks like he's good enough to where if you got him another star, another complimentary guy, he could probably win a championship.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he could play with another star in that complimentary sense because he is so high usage, but he's not high usage in the sense of like, he's not high usage in the sense of like Luka, where Luka is just so impactful. He can score in a multitude of ways, but also he can go get you 20 assists, right? And Luka has size. So that helps too, where Trae Young is undersized. He's a great shooter and can shoot the ball, but he's not. I don't see him being the best. I don't see him by himself and like a bunch of like mid-tier guys winning a championship, right? Like if you put like if you didn't have DeJounte Murray, because I think Luka and Murray would clash. But like
absolutely.
So if you took that Atlanta Eastern Conference Finals team and you had Luka on that team, I think that team might have won the championship. But Trae Young isn't Luka. He's not that guy. Like I think that team that year.
Wait, no, you're saying add Luka to that team or just like with Luka, keep Luka? Oh, sorry.
No, I'm saying like if you swap
Trae.
Trae Young with Luka, I think that Eastern Conference Finals Atlanta team might have been able to win the championship that year. I'm not saying
I could roll with that. I thought you said add. I thought you said add.
They would have a much better chance of beating Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And I think that they would have beaten the Suns because Luka is, the Suns' daddy. So I think that I really do. I just don't think Trae Young is the guy. I think he's better suited as like a number 2 guy. But I don't think he could ever play as a number 2 guy. And that's kind of what we're looking at right now with Atlanta, because they're a team that has that went and got DeJounte Murray to allow Trae Young to play off the ball more and not have to dominate the ball so much. But that's what he's best at. Yeah. And DeJounte Murray is best at that too. And so it's kind of you go, I go. It's kind of the Russ and LeBron situation all over again. Like
Harden and KD or something like that.
Yeah, it's not a good natural fit is the problem. But anyway, to get back to Laker.
Oh, thank you for that. Sorry, I was curious.
No, you're good. I would talk about all kinds of stuff. Maybe we should start doing live streams on Heads and Stands too and talk about other things. It's a reason why Kemba keeps bouncing around. I mean, yeah, he's mostly been injuries and. But look, he's still a guy that can contribute. He's not that bad. I'm just tuning in. Have worked out Cody Zeller and DeMarcus Cousins about a workout with the Lakers next week. If Sterling Brown doesn't live up to expectations, which center between CZ and DC would you rather have? I'd probably lean towards DeMarcus Cousins, just because. He has chemistry with AD, his chemistry with LeBron. He has chemistry with the team already. And he has a connection with Darvin Ham from Milwaukee. I'd probably go Cousins in that route. I wouldn't mind Cody Zeller. Cody Zeller might actually be the better fit, if I'm being honest.
He's a better fundamental player, where like DeMarcus Cousins is more.
I'm actually surprised. I'm actually kind of surprised Cody Zeller isn't on a roster as like even like a second or third big man. But yeah, I don't know.
To me, he's underrated. To me, in my opinion,
it's more so of like things that like he, if I'm not mistaken, things that like he said. I believe he said something stupid and that was kind of the thing. So teams don't really
Oh,
want to touch him.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, still, I'm back. The politicians still saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm. Oh yeah, I already had that. Posted it twice. Uh, yeah, crazy. 18 NBA players were arrested for scamming the NBA insurance fraud for $4 million. Yeah, it's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Um, Cody Zeller, really. Lakers need a trade, not going the cheap route. Yeah, but even if you do a trade, you still have like 10 days are still good. Look, Stanley Johnson was a 10-day, and that turned out to be a good thing. So you got to do your due diligence. I wore my Lakers spray jacket to my work today in Sydney, Australia. That's right. Thank you so much, Wayne. My Warriors are not making the playoffs again. We want another top draft pick. I guess is what it is.
I don't know about Warriors not making the playoffs. They'll probably make it, but
No, I still think that they'll make it. If they get in the playoffs, look, you can never count them out. They're one of those teams that you can never count out. At this point, do we have a healthy 8-man rotation? We do, but it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. It's we're gonna be really small tonight. That's for sure. We're really small. So finally starting to vote. Got to go. All right, Raymond. I appreciate you. Lakers need to chill and not panic. Agreed. Patience is everything. Sadly, I got to go back to work here in Sydney, Australia. It's 2:26 a.m. Yes, Wayne is a time traveler. He is in the future.
2:26. It's 9:30 right now, so that means I don't even want to do the math. It's like 10, 11, 12,
Yeah,
like
he's
5 hours. 5 hours ahead.
No. He's more than that. he's
well, he's more than that for you, but for me,
like
I think it's just like
15 hours ahead.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he's tomorrow. It's the 7th where he's at.
Oh, 2:26 p.m. I thought that said a.m. That's why I was like,
no.
oh.
No, 2:26 p.m. Yeah, he's in the future. He's a time traveler. He's from the future.
He's like the Flash.
Yeah, he is. Exactly. Hey, how about Tristan Thompson? He has something to prove, and also his mom died yesterday. But that is sad to hear. But just I can't. I'm not big on Tristan Thompson. Prayers up to him. That's very unfortunate. But yeah, Tristan Thompson. Nah, it's a hard pass. Cody Zeller is horrible. Get out of here. He's had some good moments, especially as a backup. He's not good as like a start. Like whenever he's had to start, he's not very good. But he's had some quality backup minutes in his career. He's just, I would rather have Cousins. The Boogie hate is unreal, man. Had a great run in Denver last year, but they needed money, so they let him. He had definitely earned the mini mid level, but they go and sign DeAndre. Yeah, well, it wasn't just that. They couldn't play Boogie more than like 10 minutes a game. Like there was a lot of things, and it was just headaches. Like he was great for them. I was actually surprised they didn't re-sign him, but there was a lot that went into them not bringing Boogie back. It wasn't just money. But I look, I love Boogie. I just don't think he makes a lot of sense for this Lakers team. I just we are best when we're running. Like he's a guy that he'd be best in the half court. Defensively, he's not very good anymore. There's concerns about just him being a knucklehead, right? Like, I mean, even Bob Meyer told him flat out, like, when Boogie called him, like he shared that and was like, I told him that teams don't know what you're going to do. Teams are worried that you're going to do something stupid.
Well, I think that's why the Warriors didn't want to hold on to him too.
No, because he's a knucklehead at times. He's
having that in that championship environment, you can't that's not.
And yeah, I think we need rebounding and shot blocking terribly. And that's why I lean towards Whiteside. Whiteside can roll. He's a better roll man. He can run. He can run the floor better. So we can continue to run fast. Better shot blocker and better rebounder. And he doesn't have the injury problems that Boogie has. I love Boogie, but the reality is the reality, And I don't know. I don't hate. If he's on the team tomorrow, I'm not going to be upset about it. But we'll see. Uh, Lakers have the worst GM in basketball. I don't know about that. There's a lot of really bad. There's really bad. There are a lot of really bad GMs in the NBA. I know it might sound crazy, but tonight is a make or break game for the season. After tonight, we have a crazy schedule. We play a lot of big men, so we need this W. This W would be really nice. I don't know if it's make or break, but it
Yeah,
does.
because you do have to take a lot of things in consideration. We got 3 players right now that are injured.
Oh
We
yeah,
got
yeah. So I mean,
we
we
got
have
a half
we
LeBron.
have
We have a
3 of our 5 best players out.
yeah.
Like literally. So that's it's gonna be tough, but um, I don't know. I trust the Lakers to get the job done tonight. We'll see. I'm not as confident as I was in the Miami game. Like I'm not gonna make prediction on that, but this team right now. When is LeBron announcement? In what regard? Can you clarify that for me, please? Um, is he going to request a trade or what? Oh, he can't be traded this year. So if he requests a trade, it's not going to happen until next year or till the offseason if he were to do that. Today is must win for sure. Next 8 games are tough. Yeah, I hope we can get the win. But we're missing a lot of guys tonight. And we still don't know how good Dennis Schroeder's ankle is, right? Like he's playing through it. I mean that was bad. If you watched that game and you saw how Dennis Schroeder rolled his ankle, whoo man, like he should have probably been out of that game. But
I'm
um,
gonna I'm gonna go on a limb and say I'm gonna flip you today. I'm gonna say not saying that you think they're gonna like lose, but I'm gonna say we got this one. Wait, hold on. Is LeBron playing tonight?
yeah, uh, I believe so. Yeah, I'll double check.
Yeah, I'm gonna say we'll pull this one out tonight.
Yeah, I believe so. Here, let me double check in real time. But I do believe that he is.
Oh, breaking news! LeBron.
he really is having some announcement.
Yeah, LeBron instead of having one-on-one exclusive with ESPN right now with an announcement. Oh,
Interesting.
very interesting.
Yeah, I just saw
All
that.
right, predictions right now, Mr.
It's not.
Crystal Ball. What is it?
It's not. I can guarantee it's not a trade request because he literally cannot be traded this year. So it's not a trade request. So whatever it is, it's something. It's something else. Whatever he's.
What's your into? I have an idea in mind. It's kind of crazy, but I got
What is it?
something.
Tell me. What?
Um, I don't know. Maybe he's thinking retirement. Maybe he's changed his mind.
Nah,
Maybe.
he ain't retired.
See, I feel like if he was going to announce that in the beginning of the year, so you can have your farewell tour and
So
to be.
LeBron's starting tonight. So I don't know. I don't know what it could be. It could be a lot of things. Here, let's see. Let's see if it's on TV. Yeah, Hannah, let's do this in real time. Wow, I didn't know it was going. I mean, it's got to be for something. I don't know. Maybe it's not basketball related. I mean, well, maybe it's like something with the school or something.
That's true. That's true.
It could be anything. I guarantee you though, it's not a trade. Like, yeah. So, because he literally cannot be traded this year. Like, there's no like.
So you say there's no point in announcing it right now.
Yeah. Well, so he can't be traded. So the day that he becomes available to be traded is after the trade deadline. So once the trade deadline is done, no trades can happen for the rest of the season. So yeah, but probably him vowing to make the playoffs. I mean, maybe
that's so LeBron. That's so LeBron style.
That might be exactly what it is. Yeah, like I said, I don't know. I don't know what.
Toscano Anderson. It's averaging 2 points a game. Well, he's on the floor. LeBron's on the floor right now, so I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, LeBron. Like I said, LeBron's starting.
Let me see.
I don't see anything about some announcement.
It is circling the internet though. It's circling the internet right now. So LeBron is supposed to sit down for an exclusive interview today. Maybe they will release it tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea. Let me see. I mean, it's got to be for something significant, right? Because I mean, he's. I don't know why they'd make like an announcement about
He's going back to Cleveland.
it. Right, the decision 2.0. Um, my guess is it's probably not basketball related.
Set of circumstances that Darvin Ham has to kind of sift his way through.
Oh, this is the game.
The good news, right, is Stu said LeBron James is back, and he, of course, went off on this Atlanta Hawks team in Atlanta just last week.
I mean, LeBron's playing right now, so he's not doing an interview right now.
Well,
Yeah,
Twitter is certainly having fun with it. Twitter's all over right now. Well, nothing's been announced, but yeah, Twitter is talking about it like crazy.
Yeah, it had to, like you said, it has to be pre-recorded because I mean I have the game on right now. He's sitting there dapping everybody up. So yeah, it's definitely not something like that. So
yeah, no, I got the game on right now too.
It's probably him saying he vows to make playoffs. I mean, yeah, it very well could be. Yeah, I can't watch it from here in Canada, so please keep me updated. I will. I definitely will. I'll be on. I do a post game live stream over on As It Stands Lakers. I don't know if you're subscribed over there, but which is my individual channel. So if I'll be on that live stream there. So if we find out what it is there, then we'll be talking about it over there. So but yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's about something. It could also just be a generalized interview, about Kareem. I mean, he's getting close to passing Kareem. So maybe they want to know his thoughts. Maybe it was a birthday interview. His birthday just passed,
Yeah.
So yeah.
Thomas Bryant just drained a 3.
Okay, I'll check out the live stream. Can you link it in here in the comments? I don't have the live stream set up because I title it based on how the game goes. But here, give me a second, and if you're not subscribed to my channel, I'll link you the channel. Bear with me 1 second. I'll add the channel link.
By the way, guys, if you're not subscribed to the other channel,
you're not subscribed here too.
Here,
Almost everybody here is from over there. So, but yes, if you're not subscribed here, subscribe here. Of course, we're trying to grow the channel here. This is mine and Jake's channel, and then I just put the link to my personal channel, which is As It Stands Lakers. And thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. It's very kind of you. But yeah, if you're not subscribed to that channel, that I just put a link in the description. I know like everyone I see in the chat is. But for whatever reason, if you're not, please subscribe over there, and I'd be very thankful. But
look at Lakers playing that defense. Patrick Beverly 9-2. LeBron with the no-look pass to Toscano.
Lakers need them to have a big game. But
they're coming out with fire.
The last sort of topic I wanted to touch on before we get on out of here is the trade front, right? So Bojan Bogdanovic, there was reports since our last live stream, which for those that don't know, we do live streams every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, same time, 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern time. If you're somewhere else in the world, I don't know what that is, but yeah, but 7 p.m. Pacific time. So we do those live streams here, and then Jake posts clips every other day. So check out those. But Bojan Bogdanovic. So several teams are interested, which makes sense. Suns, Bucks, basically all the contending teams are interested in Bojan Bogdanovic, including the Lakers. So right now, the Pistons asking price, which was said in the report that it very likely will drop between now and the trade deadline. There, of course, you always ask for your best. If I have something to sell, if I want to sell it for 500, I'm not going to start at 500. I'm going to start at 1,000 and let you work your way to 500 because maybe I'll get 700 for it. So they want a first round pick, and they want either further draft compensation or they want a young player with upside. So with that in mind, I said in my video I made about it, what if we trade Lonnie Walker for
that's interesting.
For Bojan Bogdanovic. And
That's interesting.
here's the reason why. So, and then of course I want to hear your thoughts. But the reason why is Lonnie Walker is great. I love Lonnie Walker. Realistically,
yes, he is.
we're probably not keeping him beyond this season. It's a Malik Monk situation all over again. Young kid who believes he's better than he's given the opportunity. I'm going to go to the Lakers. I'm going to get that big, bright spotlight on me. If I can perform, and I'm going to bet on myself, if I can perform and I can play great, I'm going to get a good contract elsewhere. Same thing that happened with Malik Monk. And it worked. Malik Monk came to Lakers. He had a great season, ends up signing with the Kings for some real money. The only way the Lakers are probably going to be able to keep Malik Monk is if he, or not Malik, Lonnie Walker, is if he signs the non-bird rights, which is $7.7 million, which Bobby Portis did for the Milwaukee Bucks as the most recent example that I can think of.
Yeah.
So that being said, it's not out of the realm of possibility. But realistically, you're probably losing Lonnie Walker. And we only have 30 to 32 million in cap space next season. We're not going to give half of our cap space to Lonnie Walker. We're just not. Right? Because the Lakers are trying to contend. They're going to try to get however many guys that they can get. Lonnie Walker's more of he's good now, maybe he'll be great one day. Right? But a team like Detroit could pay him. They could pay him $20 million a year, and they'd still have $50 million in cap space. Boyan, they could pay him exactly what Boyan's making, which is 18, 19 million a year, and they'd still have 52 million in cap space. So they could pay Lonnie what he wants. He's a young 23-year-old guy who's had a great season, kind of a breakout season. He's a young player that they would like, right? That's the type of player that they would look at. Bojan Bogdanovic is more of a win now guy. He's a better natural fit because he doesn't need the ball and he could score off the ball primarily, but he can also go create his own shot. He's bigger, which, he's not a great defender by any means, but he's not as bad as people think he is. People forget that Bojan Bogdanovic and Joe Ingles were the two forward spots for the Utah Jazz for years, and they were one of the best defenses in the league. Right. Yeah. So and that's because they had a guy like Rudy Gobert who can, block shots and keep teams and Boyan's good enough to funnel the offensive player into the shot blocker. Well, we have Anthony Davis. So there, you're good. Right. So they get the shooting that they need. They get a little bit of size. They get more help win now type thing. Yes, you're losing Lonnie Walker, which sucks. But again, you're probably not going to be able to keep him. And at least Bojan has 2 more years. And if you didn't make another move, which I hope that they would make another move, but if you didn't make another move, you would still have 15 million in cap space.
Yeah.
So you could still go get another guy, another piece. And so you would have LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Bojan Bogdanovic, but you'd still have money to go get, another big piece or two. Right. So that's kind of my thinking with it. You get the shooter, you get the veteran guy, you get a guy that's been there, better win now player, better fit. Detroit, they get a young, promising guy. Now, personally, if I'm giving up an unprotected first and I'm giving up Lonnie Walker, I'd like Sadiq Bey in that deal. But my hope is that the asking price drops, because if the asking price drops, then you could probably get, then maybe you could just do it for Patrick Bev, Lonnie Walker, and maybe a couple seconds or something. If it's a first round pick or a young player, that's what I'm hoping it eventually gets to. We either want an unprotected first or we want a young player that we like. Well, hopefully they like Lonnie Walker enough to go, hey, we'll give you Lonnie Walker. Patrick Beverley is an expiring deal. You basically could just swap Lonnie with Bojan, move some of your young guys in the starting lineup. You're a rebuilding team. You're a tanking team. Go get Victor Wembanyama. Win-win for everybody, right? That's my hope. But what are your thoughts? Do you like it? Do you hate it? However you feel. I'd really love to hear it.
I hate it because, it's a love-hate. It's a love-hate, truthfully. And I understand we might lose Walker. We'll probably lose Walker next year, like you said. But in the chance that we don't, it's a tough one, because while Bojan, I would like him to kind of come in, I just think it would be a little too early. And to lose a piece like that in this season, you know what I mean? Because we're a contender we could be a contender with Lonnie, but then if we you take away Lonnie, just get Boyan. I feel like if you do that, you're not looking at this year. You're not looking at making a true run this year. You know what I mean?
You'd be better this year though with Boyan.
You think, but do you think they would still have time to jail and still? You think he would still?
Yeah, because Boyan, he's never been a number one guy. He's always been a role guy. He's always been a off the ball shooter. He's not a guy that needs the ball. Like Lonnie Walker needs the ball. Like that's why Lonnie at times looks awkward. He looks like an awkward fit. Boyan, he's always been a spot up guy. Like you can give him the ball and he can go create a little bit, but he's best, being that spot up shooter, which opens the floor now for LeBron James. It opens the floor now for Russell Westbrook. If you can go get another shooter, then now you're sitting pretty. This would be a better win. Boyan is a better win now move, hands down. I mean, he's taken like the same amount of shots as Lonnie Walker. He's putting up 6 extra points. I mean, the guy's shooting 54. He's shooting 43% from 3 this year.
But my only thing is, can he do that in our system? That's the only question there is.
Absolutely, he's got LeBron James, Russell Westbrook setting him up. Imagine Russ attacking the rim and being able to kick out to a guy that's shooting 43%. Like that's
so he's essentially Kevin Love.
He's better than that.
No, not Kevin Love now. Kevin Love, like Memphis Grizzlies Kevin Love.
You mean Cleveland
Cavaliers start.
I think I still wouldn't really compare it to that, but because
who do you play for? Was it Timberwolves?
Timberwolves?
Yeah, Timberwolves.
No, he's not. Like Kevin Love was like all-star, superstar level. Like that guy was.
Well, yeah, he was like dropping triple doubles, but okay, so let's say in between Cleveland and somewhere in there. But
I mean, he's a souped up Buddy Hield. He's or I guess you could put it like a more veteran Buddy Hield, right?
Okay.
Like he understands the game. He's a better shooter. He doesn't shoot the volume as much. Well, he is this year. And he's shooting. He has like I believe he has like the 5th best shooting percentage in the entire league. Like he's the dude shooting the lights out, and he's the number 1 guy on Detroit right now as far as like scoring and output. Teams are double teaming, triple teaming him, and he's still shooting 43%. Imagine if he was on the Lakers with Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. That dude would get looks like he's never gotten before. Ever.
I like the size, and
he's 6'8". He could play both forward spots. He could play the 4. He could play the 3. So you could play him next to Anthony Davis. You could play him, next to LeBron and AD. You could play. I mean, he's just.
So you think he would have a bigger impact over Lockett?
He would make us much better. So like right now, I believe if we had like a lot of people say, like if we had Miles Turner and Buddy Hield, like we would be, whatever we are, 21 and we'd probably be 21 and or 23 and 15 or something like that, rather than the reverse, right? I think we would be that with just Boyan. If we had just Boyan Bogdanovic, we would probably be a top 4 to 5 team right now, at least. Worst case scenario. I wouldn't be shocked if we're better. I don't think Boyan makes us like a lock contender, but I think he makes us one of the best teams in the West. Like you're adding an essential all-star. You're adding a 50, 40, 90 guy. Like that's Kevin Durant shooting level.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's insane. Like and a guy that doesn't need the ball. I'm not saying that he's anywhere close to Kevin Durant. I'm just talking about just shooting wise, percentage.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Right? You're talking about a guy that is shooting 50% from the field, 43% from 3, 90% from the free throw line, can create his own shot, can be a spot up shooter, doesn't need the ball. He's like Lonnie needs, like, unless he's just shooting lights out, Lonnie needs 15 to 20 shots a game to get 20 points. Boyan needs 9 shots to get you 20 points. So you get more production out of Boyan.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
you get more production out of Boyan with less. With less, you get more with less, and he's the guy that you'd have for 2 years after this season.
Yeah.
So he lines up perfectly with LeBron James and Anthony Davis's contract. So if you wanted to, you can just kind of let everyone fall off, and now you have basically nobody on your roster, at least assuming that the team's what it is right now, and you can just completely rebuild if you want, or kind of retool or whatever. I just think if we can keep Lonnie, I want to keep Lonnie. But
that's my only thing, because like I would like to add Boyan to Lonnie and not with a Lonnie team and not subtract and replace.
I look at it like this too. So let's say it's a first or it's Lonnie. Me personally, I'd rather give up Lonnie because now you have Russell Westbrook and you have all those other guys, Damian Jones, JTA, whatever, and you still have both your first round picks.
Yeah.
So you could go get Boyan Bogdanovic, and then you could still go do the Hornets deal or whatever. Or you could go do the Pacers deal, like if they can't work out a deal for Miles Turner, and now you got Buddy Hield and Boyan Bogdanovic, right? Like now that makes you. Now I think you're a contender, right? Like you might be the best team in the league at that point. But so it just gives you more flexibility. It gives you more potential for what you could do. Where if you give up that first, and you're probably not keeping Lonnie Walker regardless. I just think, like if there was a way for us to almost guarantee we could keep, like if Lonnie came to us and was like, look, I'll sign the non-bird right next season. Like I want to be here. Like I'll sign the non-bird rights. And so that way you can then, because what it does, and the reason Portis did it is because it's more of like I'll help you now as an organization if you take care of me later. Right?
Yeah.
Like I want to be here long term. You want me here long term. The only way we can make that work is if I sign this. So I'm going to sign for $7.7 million. You might have given me $15 million a year, but when my contract's up and I can go now over the cap to sign me, instead of $15 million a year, you're going to pay me, $18 million a year. Right. Yeah. Like, so it's basically like, hey, you're not going to make as much. It's almost like if you back into contract, right? A poison pill contract, as they're called. Hey, we're going to give you $7 million instead of giving you $15 million a year over the next 5 years. We're going to give you $7 million a year for the first 2 years, and then we're going to give you 18 the next, whatever, or 20 the last 3 years or 4 years.
Yeah.
Right. And you'll get an extra. So now, yes, you have to eat those 2 years, but in the long term, you made more money. Like, so if he came to us and said that, then sure. But realistically, he's probably because why would he? He's a 23-year-old kid with a lot of upside and talent. Like some team is probably going to offer him $20+ million and go get your money, go get your bag, right? Like, because you never know, he gets hurt or something, he's screwed. Then there goes that, right?
Yeah.
Go get your bag. So I don't really see a scenario where we keep Lonnie. I would hope so. If we can, that'd be great. But I mean, he's, does he really want to? How long is he's playing for $6 million this year? How long does he want to keep playing for that?
That's true.
So
that is true. And that's the thing too, that really depends on what moves the Lakers do between now and the end of the year, because if they make moves to get pieces where they're like, hey, next year we could really have a real shot. Then that's when maybe we could see Lonnie being like, hey, you know what, like this, I'm young, I can get a championship at a young age. I want to stick around.
Yeah. If the Lakers are going to keep AD at center, I prefer Kuz because he's only coming back if he starts. I would love Kuz. I don't know if Washington would trade him to us, and their asking price is insane right now. But if that comes down and it becomes realistic, I wouldn't
mind.
What
are they asking?
Right now they want like somewhere in the ballpark of like 2 firsts. They would want both of our firsts unprotected for Kuz. Not worth it.
Absolutely not.
But
have they lost their mind? It must be crazy.
But anyway, any last parting words before we skate on out here?
I like the energy of this game. I like the energy of this game. We're only up by 8, but I like it.
Good bomb. Oh, wow. Money? Oh, bomb. Oh, let's go, Gabe. Ooh.
Let's go. Good night.
Yeah, they're playing good. I like it.
Oh, nice putback.
Let's keep going. Let's keep it going. But anyway, everybody, thank you all so very much for hanging out with us. Really appreciate it. Thank you for joining these conversations and listening to us babble about the Lakers and sports and stuff. You guys are all very awesome. Again, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. We greatly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, trying to grow here on this channel. And we're